This is Capital Games Movie Club. I am the Wiz. Today I'm reviewing the 2022 action blockbuster, the movie that Steven Spielberg said saved the ass of the film industry, Top Gun Maverick, directed by Joseph Kosinski and starring Tom Cruise. If you guys have been listening to the podcast, I know there's a few who have. You might remember that me and Zero reviewed this many months ago. We reviewed the first movie, I should say, many months ago. And we both liked it. I was surprised how much I liked it, despite it being like a basic blockbuster. But it was very charismatic. It had a lot of charms to it that I think is married to that 80s time. So when they made the sequel of it, I was kind of stunned that so many people really liked the movie and how much money it made. And I guess that's because people are starving for those type of blockbuster movies, these crowd-pleasing, entertaining kind of blockbuster movies that you can just turn your brain off and enjoy. For the most, that is true for the most part, that people are starving for that type of entertainment, especially one that is just to entertain and not to carry a message or anything along those lines. But there's also the fact that it's Tom Cruise. Whatever Tom Cruise does tends to make a lot of money and have a lot of people watching the movie, despite that there's this rather large hate brigade for Tom Cruise that I do not get whatsoever. You cannot like the person. I think he's a little strange, but as an actor, he's very charismatic and very good, so I don't understand the hate with Tom Cruise. Before this movie was released, there was numerous delays on this movie. I believe it was done and finished before the pandemic. I'm not entirely sure, but it was done for a long time, and the studio just kept delaying the movie, which usually is a sign that the movie's in deep trouble. And then when it came out, it did so well, and the buzz was just astronomical about how great this movie was. I was pleasantly surprised. So now there's no better time than ever to go ahead and watch it before it may or may not win Best Picture for the Oscars this year. Spoiler, it won't win. But anyway, so I guess this is now a great time to watch the sequel to Top Gun Maverick. So let's get on with the review. I'm just going to say it right off the rip. I'm not going to do spoilers on this because, honestly, if you've seen any blockbuster movie, you know what to expect. And Top Gun Maverick doesn't shake the apple cart. It doesn't really do anything that is revolutionary when it comes to story and character-wise. You kind of know what you're coming into. But I think that's kind of the charm with this, especially if you were a fan of Top Gun. And I think watching Top Gun a few months ago, 6 or 8 months ago, was probably a good thing for me on this, because now I have that movie fresh in my mind while watching this movie. It does add to the enjoyment of watching Top Gun Maverick. In fact, I would probably say the best way to enjoy this is probably watching Top Gun and then maybe a day or two later, or if you really want to do it right afterwards, watching Top Gun Maverick and see how that matches up. Because I think that would really be a pretty good viewing experience on this. But let's get to the pluses of the movie. I do like the movie. I think it is a fun, very enjoyable movie with what it is, basically. It is a standard blockbuster with dazzling action. I gotta say, like, before I'm already cutting myself off here. The cinematography in this movie, especially when they're in the planes, is fantastic. I could not get over how beautiful the movie looks while the fighter pilots are in the planes and everything. So that right there, for the cinematography, that was astounding. And I am shocked it did not get nominated for best cinematography, because it is gorgeous to watch. The rest of the movie, I mean, when it comes to the way it's directed and shot, I mean, it's nice, but it is shot like a standard blockbuster. The staging and the way the shots are done are very standard. It's very comfortable. You're not expecting anything crazy. It's just a basic, it's a basic blockbuster drama that you expect as the movie goes along. This is not going to shock you when you watch the movie. I hate to say it, when it comes to the story and the characters, it's standard as you come. You have the hotshot pilot, you have the arrogant one, you have the one that has a sordid past, you have the basic ones that you expect. And I think the best thing that movie does is not insult your intelligence and not pretend it's not that. And so it just makes it just an enjoyable watch with this movie. The movie's about 2 hours and 15 minutes long. And when I saw that, I was like, "Ugh, that's a little too long. Why would 2 hours and 15 minutes? I don't know about that." But I will say that the time that was done in the movie was paced very well. I really wasn't bored at any point in the movie. My standard of boredom is, how many times do I check my phone? I didn't check it once, so that is really good. So I was entertained, and I was enjoying what I was watching throughout the entire movie. So I definitely would say that it was an entertaining movie. Performances. This is a Tom Cruise vehicle, but to be quite honest, this is a standard Tom Cruise performance, so it's fine. And Miles Teller is pretty good in it as well. I mean, the cast is good. I like the cast. There's not a standout there. There's not like a standout performance, except that Jennifer Connelly is pretty good as the love interest for Tom Cruise's Maverick in this. But with performances, there's not a lot of standouts in this movie. You know what? That's probably the best way I can put when it comes to Top Gun Maverick, is that there's nothing that stands out. There's nothing that really eye-opening. There's nothing really bad. There's nothing really good, but it's just enjoyable. It is just an enjoyable, fun, entertaining movie that I guess if you want, you can turn your brain off for 2 hours and 20 minutes and enjoy if you care to. It is a very fun movie, and it is really entertaining, and I definitely enjoyed it. I don't know how much deeper I can get into this movie. Shot is good. The sound is actually very good in this. I guess I could talk more about the Oscars a little bit and its odds of winning, and the odds are it's not winning. It's not winning pretty much anything at this point. I think the fact that it was nominated for Best Picture, I think, is its victory in this, because this is the type of movie that doesn't even sniff an Oscar. And it got in, I think, mainly because of the box office draw that it got. I know that there was talk that Tom Cruise could have gotten a Best Actor nomination for this movie if things panned out well enough for him, and it didn't happen, and I'm gonna say that's probably a good thing, because this is a Tom Cruise performance. It's not a bad performance. I like Tom Cruise, but if you don't like Tom Cruise, you're not gonna like it very much. So I guess that's the best I can do with Tom Cruise's performance in this movie. Yeah, I'm not getting the spoilers because there's really not much to spoil. You kind of know what's going to happen in this movie. I'll say the action is very good in this. Like, it is very, like I said, very entertaining. Everything that they do action-wise is a lot of fun and very entertaining to watch. Really, not much to go else on this, really. Even from like the romance angle to the drama between Maverick and one of the pilots is pretty standard, but it's crowd pleasing. It's a blockbuster movie, so it's meant to be simple on the face of what it's supposed to do, but it's supposed to nail that execution, and it did. And that's really all you can give Top Gun Maverick on this. That it looks good, it sounds good, it's got good performances all across the board, it is entertaining, it's enjoyable, and that is it, really. It just nails the execution. And that's good. But I'm not going to overrate it. I'm not going to sing its praises and be like, oh my God, it's a revelatory. No, it's fine. It's a fun movie. It's entertaining. But that's it, really. I guess the thing, I guess if I'm going to talk about the problem I had with this, I guess the only problem I really had with it is that a lot of people really praise this movie, calling it one of the best things I've ever seen. And I gotta say, I don't understand why. I mean, it's good for an action movie. I guess if you're really into action movies. Not even that. Not really. It is a solid film. It is enjoyable, and I have no problem recommending this to anybody. There is a lot of things in the movie that a lot of people can enjoy, but it's not something that's like a revelation. It's not something that I'm not gonna like have family members and friends like say, oh, you need to see this movie experience. No, no, not at all. I think there are other action movies that are a little bit better, but with the mix that it has, and just the fact that it was just going to be a blockbuster movie and that's all they were going for, it executed it very well. And that's, I think, the best praise I can give it. I guess we'll get to the final conclusion here, since there's really not much else to talk about with Top Gun Maverick. Again, solid film. Very good. Very entertaining. Kept me engaged. I was having fun. I was entertained. And I didn't see much wrong with it. Nothing really stood out, but it was just an entertaining-ass film. If you want 2.5 hours to kill and enjoy yourself, Top Gun Maverick is it. That's the best thing I can give it. And that's also a great praise for the movie, I would say. I'm going to give Top Gun Maverick 3 stars. And it's a solid film. It's a very entertaining film. But let's not overrate it as to what it is. It is just an entertaining blockbuster film, and it executes on that very well. It doesn't shake the apple cart. It doesn't do anything bad, but it is entertaining, and I guess that is its own reward in this. So 3 stars for Top Gun Maverick. I enjoyed it. It was fun and very entertaining. Okay, so on the next episode, I am going to review the movie that a lot of people seem to think might win the Oscar for Best Picture. Still not sure about that, but I think it's high time that I finally review Everything Everywhere All at Once, starring Michelle Yeoh, Stephanie Hsu, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Ke Quan, directed by the Daniels. So that is next time for the Capital Games Movie Club. I am The Wiz. Talk to you next time. Bye.